Turning clicks into a
Maybe.
face. Your listings look tired. Your captions are weak. We'll bring the fire to the feed every day of the week. Post so fly, they'll make
Wow. Good morning, everybody.
Wow.
That was
like
wow.
No buffer.
That was no buffer.
We got some weird. That one day, I tell you, I really.
Oh, you know why? Because I didn't have it on loop. Good morning, everybody. It is Social Surge with Fly and Mo. I'm Mo Regalato. Over there is Miss Fly. Over there is Miss Fly Jamerson. There you go. Oh yeah, that's the vibe.
These are my new temporary glasses until I can replace my Ray-Ban.
No, it went live on Instagram. I'm literally just standing here staring at IG, not actually going live. All right. Good morning, everybody. It's been a while since we've been on. Where have we been? We've been everywhere. Everywhere, right?
New York. No, well, I mean, let's rewind it back too, because you were in Palm. I mean, it has been a minute. You were in Palm Desert for SIWAR, and then we basically immediately flipped around. We were both in New York for the gala, and then you flipped right around to go to
Anaheim,
Social Media World in Anaheim.
Yep.
And then I'm getting on a plane not long after this. I was looking at my wrist like I have my watch on, and yeah, I'll be in New York again tomorrow, and then bada bing, bada boom. We got Vegas, we got stuff. It's just like we're in the what is it? In Finding Nemo when they go the turtles and the thing. Yeah, I don't know.
The slipstream.
Anyway, we're back.
All right, so I was at Social Media Marketing World. We were at the gala the week before that. Huge event. I don't think we've shared pictures. You and I haven't had a chance to debrief and talk about like all the fabulous people we met, but really have to give a shout out to James Shields, who hosted the women's breakfast, and his friend, which I can't remember the friend's name, so I apologize, James, for not being able to remember your friend's name. But we had a fabulous breakfast in West Village. It was amazing. The weather was beautiful. Like it was gorgeous. And you know, Miss Beth Azor was not able to be there this year because she was doing, she's prepping. Good morning, Holly Pennington. Thanks for joining us over on the gram. It's good to see you. We ended up, Beth has this thing, right? So Beth is doing the Camino de Santiago, I think it is. I could get that wrong. It's in Spain. She's going to be walking like 500, 1,000 miles. I have no idea. It's a really long walk. Yeah. Like it's like a 6-week walk. Like it's a trek. Yes. She's going to be doing that. So amazing. Props to her. But that's the reason why she wasn't at the gala. Wow, that almost came out. That was weird.
Gala? I don't know how to say things. I live inside of the internet. I don't pronounce words.
I don't pronounce words. Regalato Real Estate, good morning. Thanks for joining us over on the gram. And so she's also not going to be at ICSC because she's going to be doing for like the first time in like 30 some odd years. She's not going to be at ICSC. So
I remember when I cold called her for when I was in the ICSC creators program. She was, I don't think it made it into the final cut of the video, but she was like, I've been going to ICSC longer than you've been alive. And I was like, oh, I better sit down. You want to know what though? Good for her, because she has been pounding the pavement for like the canvassing queen, right? You know, right. So it's like that's a long distance hike, a long distance walk, or whatever it is that she's doing. Like not only does she deserve that, but she's probably like uniquely positioned to do that since she's been canvassing for so long. So wow. All right.
Yeah. Uniquely positioned. And she's been prepping for it too. So she shares that journey on her Instagram channel. So if you want to check that out, just go to her Instagram, just look for Beth Azor. But one of the things that she really wanted to reiterate while we were at the women's breakfast is do not connect with people that you know. If you already know them, that's great. Have a 3-minute conversation, but then you need to be out connecting with other people. And then the other portion was can you help somebody make a connection, right? Can you help them? What is this person's need, and can you help fulfill that need? So I took that to heart at the gala, and I was, here's a little secret. I actually don't like networking, which is probably a really bad thing to say, but I am not, it takes a lot to just have sometimes superficial conversations. Like it takes too much almost too much of my brain power. And so, but if I can find out something about you, and then I know a person that can help you with that challenge, issue, need, I'm going to make the connection. And so we were talking with James, and James had talked about pizza in Austin, and I ended up meeting Foley at the,
Foley's great.
at the Real Deal VIP party. And I introduced Foley to Tanya Reagan, who's in Dallas. Foley's in Austin. And so I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are in Texas. You should know each other. So they start talking. And then James pops up. And I was like, speaking of pizza and Austin, hey, James, meet Foley. Like, because James is looking at expanding, yada, yada, yada. So it's just knowing those little tidbits of information for me and making those connections is far more important than actually trying to work business or try to get new business development. I mean, it's just not me. So
it's just like, it's the conversation. It's the meet cute. It is the, it's the handshake. It's the face to a name. I cannot tell you how many people that it's a little embarrassing sometimes, but like usually sometimes you want to know what, I have built relationships with people, and you want to know how much I've seen their face, the tiny little like dot next to their X profile. And then so I had several moments, up on the top of Hudson Yards where I was like in conversation with somebody, and then I was like, oh shoot, it's you,
Mm-hmm.
And then, but just on the topic of Foley, and then not to go tangential into, talk about video on X, but Foley's been ripping some video on X. He did one recently about Donovan, and it's really cool to see people continue to elevate and expand the kinds of content that they're doing. I don't really know what's going on with video on X. I have personally right now, my feed is so messed up because I have just been really needing to be nourished by funny cat videos. So I'm getting a lot of video on there, but anecdotally, other people recently have said the video on X is getting pushed. Yeah. And also some stuff with the LinkedIn. I don't know. I feel like the algos are kind of like cosmically, there's something kind of going on. Right. But anyway, gala was great, and meeting people, but also, not feeling like, and again, goes back to what we talk about a lot on, just even on, social selling or interacting with people online. Like at a party, if the first thing that you say to somebody is, hi, I'm Fly, I sell social media service packages for commercial real estate professionals. Do you want to buy one? That's not what you do at a party. Nobody would talk to you. So don't do that at a party, and don't do that in the DMs. Be clear about who you are and what you do and what value that you bring and who you're looking for. And that was the other thing that I really appreciated at the women's breakfast, especially, was the fact that we did get a chance to, it was a smaller group. I love the intimate, like smaller, adjacent pop-up events that happen around, everything. And it's everything that happens at CREI. It happens at, the gala. It happens at ICSC, all these little, peripheral things. But just having that opportunity to have that moment of a more direct touch, a direct interaction, that, and I still have so many follow-ups to you. I swear I got back from New York, and it's just been nothing but on the phone conversations, just like, and I think that also, sorry, let me just say one more thing. I have been hearing this a lot, and I don't know what flipped over, if we just like went through some kind of portal or something, or people are just kind of hyped. But I have heard from several people that, the first 4 months of the year were not as not a lot of velocity, not a lot of flow, not a lot of stuff going on. And in the last 2 weeks, people have just been like, oh, like so much stuff going on. You love to hear it.
Yeah, no, the momentum has definitely picked up. You hear that from anyone from Chris Okada to Bob Knakal to even some of the other brokers that we talk to, that just like things are starting to pick up in commercial real estate, which is good to hear. So that is exciting. And of course, we should definitely be a part of that. So, hey, that's my plug for us. Hey, we should be a part of that. Okay, so enough of that. I want to talk about Social Media Marketing World. It is a event that I have attended virtually for several years. This was the first year that we have attended in person. What the Heck and I decided last year that we were going to attend one industry specific marketing, social media specific event per year, and make sure that we go and we absorb as much as possible. So let me show you guys what. So this is the little thing that they hand out, right? And then you flip it open and boom, this is the entire agenda for 3 days. It is jam-packed with classes on, like, sessions on AI, sessions on social media, sessions on YouTube, sessions on brand building. So if there is an event that you want to attend specific for social media, for marketing, not only should you attend CREI Summit, you should absolutely 100% attend CREI Summit, because you're going to network with commercial real estate professionals who are interested in digital marketing tools and being better than everybody else. But this is also an event that I highly recommend if you are unfamiliar with some of the things and you want to learn more. I got to meet Mari Smith, who is one of my, like, people that I look up to. Like, it's Gary Vaynerchuk, Mari Smith, right? I learned about Mari Smith through Gary. I've taken her courses. I've sat in her classes. She taught me a lot about Facebook. She is still the Facebook queen. And she's just a fabulous follow. If you have issues with Facebook, you need to go check out her Facebook page. And she has, like, hey, did your account get hacked? Like, she's been through it, right? So I got to meet her. I got to meet Jonathan. Is it Jonathan Mast? What the heck? Mast, M-A-S-T. I think that's his name. Jonathan Mast. He goes by Whitebeard.
The AI coach, right?
The AI coach.
Yeah, Jonathan Mast. Yeah.
Jonathan Mast, M-A-S-T. I sat in on one of his sessions. Actually, I think it was his only session. Again, another fabulous thing to sit down and really go to, listen to, and see how people are using AI. All of his content is AI written. However, he took a really long time to build his persona and his voice. And so that was like super fascinating to me to learn. The other thing that I found interesting, and I find interesting about Jonathan Mast, and he talked about it, and he's documenting this online, is the fact that he was trying to, I don't know if he was trying to use Claude or he was trying to use OpenClaw or something to build something. And he ended up spending, I think, $3,000 and $3,000 in tokens. And it didn't ever put out. It didn't give him the output he wanted. There we go.
Wait,
yeah.
What?
So he was trying to build, like, some sort of automation or some sort of thing. And it never actually produced or did what he wanted it to do. So, and it was just a test. He was testing to see if he could do it. If this could be, like, could we replicate this? Could somebody else do this?
Right.
And so it didn't work out. And so, like, he was just like, AI is not the answer to everything. Like, you have these ideas and you try to do this whole process. And he goes, and I knew going in that this may or may not work. And that's why I documented it. It was Claude. I had a fight with my Claude recently, but we could talk about that later. And me and Gemini do not get along. I'm having issues with Gemini too, doing like YouTube thumbnail iterations. They're really, like, it's not following the prompt that I'm giving. And so to talk about this real quick before we get on, DB, it wasn't too bad. Like, he wasn't upset about it. I think going in with the mindset, knowing that he was going to be testing something, and he had even put that in his Facebook posts. And he knew ahead of time that this may or may not work. And so he was going to test it and see what happens. but you know, at least he can say that he tried it. He tried to make it work, and it didn't work out the way that he wanted it to. Going back to Gemini and AI. So when I create anything in Gemini, I actually start in ChatGPT with a prompt. And so I tell Chat, hey, I want to create an image. Oh wait, hold on. Put that back up.
DB's on my team. Anti-Gemini.
I don't get along with Gemini too. Yes. So I'll go into Chat and I'll do the prompt. The struggle is real. Definitely 100%. I go into Chat. I actually have Chat help me create the prompt for Gemini. And then I take the prompt into Gemini. Now, normally that works amazingly well. Over the last couple of weeks, it's been like it doesn't understand, or it's not doing exactly what the prompt gives me. So if I put like photorealistic in there, it will still give me like the character stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's not what I asked for. I didn't ask for the cartoon. I didn't ask for the caricature. I asked for photorealistic. Sean, Maxi, CRE Broker, thanks for joining us over on the gram. We're actually talking about Gemini, but we will be talking about the return on effort of YouTube, because that is the focus of our discussion today. But the AI has been a little weird. ChatGPT has been hallucinating with a certain custom GPT that I have. I'm like, what the hell what are you doing?
I've been having some conversations recently about data hygiene, which the word hygiene is just like, yuck. I feel like I'm flossing. I don't want to think about that. But I do think that there is much to be said around looking at how, and I got to do this. You know, if you don't have any conventions for how you are organizing, you know, your chats or your projects or your assets or like all that stuff, I can see why like Gemini, although I gotta say something in a second, but I can see why Gemini would just like make the assumption that you are looking for something that you usually ask for, right? And so, you know, I am looking forward to having more conversations with people about, you know, why those kinds of things happen. And just to air the beef I have with Gemini, and on multiple occasions now, and it's supposed to be integrated, right? Like I'm in my Google workspace and I click my little Gemini button and I'm just like, hey, how do I do this thing? Like, just as an example, I had a document in Google Drive, and there was a bunch of comments on that document, and I wanted to export the comments so I could like track those comments separately to, doesn't matter what I was doing. That's what I wanted. And I said that to Gemini. I was like, hey, can I do this? And it was like, oh, sure. Here's how. Click this, click this, click this. And I was like, Gemini, that didn't work. What? And then it was like, oh, okay. Click this, click this, click this. And now this is not some random other, you know, I'm not using chat. I'm not using Claude. I was in Google. Gemini is a Google product. And then finally I was like, Gemini, this doesn't exist. And it was like, oh yeah, it doesn't. And that was it. It didn't try to help me. It didn't try to explain itself. And I was just like, Google, you know?
Just made me waste a half hour doing this bullshit.
And it was just, and I didn't spend a half an hour. I'm not spending a half an hour on that, but it's just like, you know, that is just one example of why, like, you know, Gemini to me is the one that lies the most, because it's two-faced, baby. It's two-faced.
Gemini, two-faced.
That's all I gotta say. Let's get back on topic before I start yelling about Grok.
James Milner, thanks for joining us over on the gram. We were talking about the return on effort for YouTube. So one of the yes.
James Milner has a new podcast.
Really?
Do you know about this? James Milner has a new podcast, everybody. And first of all, just throw him the roses, because he has gone all in on content this year with the video. And you want to know what the podcast is called? Boon Tea. It's so good. Anyway, give it a shout. I'll drop it in the comments. But yeah, we should. Oh yeah, I don't know, James. I might be talking to you soon. Okay, continue. Social media world. We just love a yap. Okay.
Yes, we do love a yap. And so going back to the whole point of this, which is the return on effort on YouTube. One of the sessions that I attended was talking about and it's specifically about podcasts. So James, this is a note for you. With Boon Tea, make sure that if you have it on YouTube and YouTube only, it is not a podcast. It is not a podcast.
He's good.
It's a show. So note to all of our friends who are putting shows, including me, on YouTube. It is not a podcast. It is a show. It is only a podcast if it goes through a syndication service, MP3, and it doesn't have to specifically go through just a syndication service. You could just go through Spotify, and then that would be a podcast. Something that has an RSS feed that actually makes it a true podcast.
It's on Apple. It's on Apple and Spotify.
Yep. So an actual podcast. So for Fly and I to make these a podcast, we would need to download the MP3s, upload them to Spotify or some sort of clearinghouse like Libsyn or Podcastomatic. Man, I'm pulling out some old ones. Any of those that will actually go to multiple streaming services. So that's just a note. So if you have just a show on YouTube, that's fine, but you need to think about making it into an actual podcast that has an available RSS feed. And there's reasons why it needs to have that RSS feed, which I'm not going to go in today. I will talk about that later, and it has to do with SEO and AEO. So it's kind of one of those important things to think about. So one of the things, DB, one of the things that was discussed on this return on effort is the fact that a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to do this because I don't have the right lighting. I don't have the right camera. I don't have the right yada, yada, yada. You need to stop letting that be the friction that prevents you from doing what you need to do. LinkedIn, YouTube, Reddit. Those three sources are being pulled by the AIs, by AEO, your answer engine optimization, or agentic engine optimization, however the hell you want to say that. That content is being pulled into all of those searches. People are asking questions, and the way that you should be building your YouTube content, the actual copy within, you need to have chapters. The chapters answer questions, right? Somebody puts a question in one of the AIs, and then all of a sudden your YouTube video pops up with a link because you answered that question, right? So yeah, this is kind of getting in the weeds of some of this stuff. James says, we're waiting on Apple to start the video. Very excited. Right now it's on Apple and Spotify. I'm working on other channels. Perfect. James, take a look at Libsyn, Libsyn. I think it's like $25 a month, but it's like a clearinghouse for all of the different, it's a clearinghouse for all the different podcast platforms. I want to put a podcast on Napster. That's freaking hilarious.
The original, the OG. I was just going to say, on the topic of SEO and AEO and what it's called versus what it's not called, I got into a fight with somebody on Twitter the other day about it. And like, people get like
butt hurt.
People get, I don't know. I'm making a run at being a reply guy, by the way. So.
Oh, that should be interesting.
I will behave. Okay. Tell me more about social media world. We've got just a few minutes left on the show today. Right. For you, okay, what?
So hold on. Let me finish the return on effort. So just real quick, when you're starting your YouTube channel or your podcast, you need to ask yourself a couple of questions. Who is this channel for? What are they chasing? What are they escaping? And when that was said in that session, what are they escaping? It was like, oh, that's a great question to ask. Because when people are looking at YouTube, when they are watching or listening, now, admittedly, I don't watch YouTube. I actually listen to YouTube. I will have it on and I will listen to podcasts. I will listen to shows on it, but I'm not actually watching the video. So it's just, that's how I actually consume a lot of
like while you're working? Like, what are you, how do you do that? I can't. Never mind. Different conversation. Talk to me more. The idea of what are they trying to escape is really interesting to me because, like, if you go back to the fundamentals just, it's not even going back. If you look at the fundamentals of some of the classic frameworks, in marketing and advertising, talking about like, what is the pain that these people are going through now? Pain. So this framework is pain, agitation, solution, which is like you articulate that you understand that there is a pain. The agitation is, and I don't quite like that phrasing, but it's just like, it's pushing the idea of just like, if you do not solve this pain, if you do not solve this problem, I actually think it's problem, agitation, solution, P's all around. But it's just like, what you need to understand what these people are going through to be able to provide the solution. Right.
Right.
And so that, when you said that just now, what are they trying to escape? It's just like, yeah, I mean, what are people trying to escape when they're selling buildings? That's very interesting.
He said, James says Riverside acts as the clearinghouse, just need to connect to YouTube. Oh, that's interesting.
Riverside's
okay.
Good.
I didn't realize that Riverside had that capability. That's very, very cool to know. Huh. Okay. I will look into that. I wonder if we have that availability with StreamYard. I wonder.
StreamYard's not on my nice list right now.
StreamYard, no, I'm gonna.
Okay.
Conversation. Okay, now the other thing I want to talk about is your channel needs to emotionally compel someone with a unique premise that makes those people care about your channel. So instead of a generic topic like how to grow a YouTube channel for your business, it should be something more like helping entrepreneurs grow a lead generating YouTube channel in 90 minutes a week. That is very specific. And somebody can say, I can do 90 minutes a week. Yeah, 90 minutes a week. That makes sense. I can do that, right? Then the other thing that you need to complete, and you should have with this is, and I loved this phrasing, is you should have a needs magnet, not a lead magnet, a needs magnet. Okay. So it gives your ideal client something that they actively need, right? Whether it's a solution to, obviously it's a solution to a problem. It's a framework that they can use that will help them out. And so think about, and we talk about the funnel process. This is the whole reason why I'm bringing this up, is social media is your top of mind, right? It's top of your funnel. Then in the middle is that website, right? Your website should have should have multiple landing pages that have lead magnets or need magnets. Need magnets. What does that potential prospect client need that only you can provide? And it is something that you can create. And oh my God, there's so much crap that you can create with all of these AIs. Like, it's unreal. There's no reason you shouldn't be creating need magnets for your prospects. You're not giving away any information that shouldn't be given away, unless you are actually giving away information that shouldn't be given away. And then that's on you. That's not on the AI. And then the next part is that with those need magnets, they drop into your CRM. That's when we're talking social and we're talking about how that funnel works. In my mind, that's how it works for me. Top of mind is social, website for need magnet. And then you're going to drop into the CRM, because the CRM gives you multiple touches through different marketing campaigns. So that's how we always look at that. I always want your money in your emails. Your money is in your emails. If you've ever been fired from a job, I have, and all of your contacts and emails were taken from you while you were getting your ass canned by, HR. Like, you don't have those emails.
Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, that's a big problem.
That's it. That's the truth, dude.
It's your book of business, right?
Your book of business. If it's gone, it's gone. So how are you capturing those emails? How are you, that's your money. Your money is in the CRM, 100%. How good is the data in your CRM? Anyway, I could get into a whole long
data
conversation
hygiene.
About that. What? Yeah,
data
hygiene. I think you need to trademark that, data hygiene.
It's like a big thing I'm pushing for right now, because I've got a lot going on, and I need everything to be chill.
This was another thing that I loved about this is decide once. It was this idea of decide once. Decide how your videos are going to be edited. and then use that same framework every single time. This again is one of those things that stops people from producing video, is because like, oh, well, so-and-so's doing these really cool things where they're stepping out of the frame and they're popping down into this stuff. Okay, well, if that's going to stop you from doing video, stop freaking thinking about that. Just start recording.
There's a big difference between like cool and effective. You know what I mean? And because like a cool and fancy and shiny and all that kind of stuff is the thing that is going to slow you down, and you can't slow down. You need to get it out. And so and you know, I think actually what I should do in a future content series is to talk about my own personal challenges around that. You know, when I got into business, I had to push post, you know, 125 plus times a week. And I didn't have time to be like, oh, like what's going to be cool? I had to make split second decisions about how we were going to do, and then iterate and iterate and iterate. Now, inside of that process, you know, one thing I had to learn was like, okay, where do I see now that I could change and experiment? But doing something new every single time, you know, if you're going to do that, you must not have anything else to do, because to experiment and be creative and to, you know, like innovate and all that kind of stuff, you know, you know, you want to know what? There is a time and a place. The time and the place for that is not social media content where you are trying to stay top of mind and top of the feed. And that has been what I have really learned in the 2 years of this business. You know, we could have, you know, you can have an Academy Award winning, you know, reel. Yep. But that's not what you're here to do. You are here to transact. You're not here to make, you know, make a movie. It's here.
Yeah. No, that's exactly you. And that's something that we need to remind everybody, that you are a broker. You're not a content creator. And if you want to be a content creator, that's a different side, and there's different things that need to be done. But as brokers, you have stories to tell. You have a fabulous camera in your phone. It has good sound. Just don't be outside on a windy day. And you'll be able to start creating content. When I started video recording in 2017, I made,
I got like 4 more.
I made a commitment to myself that I would record a marketing minute every single week. I started doing it twice weekly. It literally was my iPhone propped up on books in horizontal format and me just talking to the camera. That was it. I did that for over 2 years. Now, that being said, I even did it on the road, and I'm so glad I did, because in 2018, I recorded my dad walking behind me, and my dad passed in 2019. And I will always have that memory of him in that video because I did that. You never know what you're going to capture.
Oh,
Sorry.
baby. Oh, baby. No, don't. No, because it's true. And you want to know what? I do just want to say this, you know, that one of the things that I love about the community that we're in is that, you know, these are real relationships. And the people that you will meet, you know, when you go to CREI or you participate online and all that kind of stuff, you want to know what? It's like, I have also learned that being in the commercial real estate business can be like extremely isolating and lonely, especially because it is dog eat dog out there and everyone is gunning after the same deals. And so don't apologize for getting emotional, because you want to know what? Everybody in this business is wrong. Commercial real estate is so emotional and it's so personal, and you want to know what? It's also business. It's also business. And that's what I got to say about that. Can I tell you where I'm going tomorrow?
Yes. So I do find it interesting that a lot of people say that residential real estate is very emotional. And I'm like, have you ever talked to a broker before about their deal? Like, they're very emotional about that. Okay.
The men who call me, their feelings.
In their feelings. Sorry. Okay. So tomorrow you will be at, and people should expect what?
I'm getting on a plane to go. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. I'm going to the Real Deal Forum, baby, tomorrow. I am going to be at the Real Deal Forum in New York City, and I am going to do my best to do the best Mo Regalado live X coverage of everything that I am hearing happening in that room. Because, first of all, I am super excited because I still have so much to learn about commercial real estate, like the actual stuff, right? Like in terms of the marketing and the social media and the, digital tools for business development and just, I have learned so much in 2 years, but this event for me, I think is going to be really interesting because it is going to get into the nitty gritty of, what is going on with affordable housing in New York City. Whoa, what is going on with some of, there's a lot going on right now. And, but however, the power breakfast, which I have been told is the breakfast to be at. So we'll see. The topic of the breakfast is deals in the DMs. And so we're going to have, and a lot of, you want to know what also too, a lot of these people, I think that, there's a lot of names that I don't recognize. And a part of that is because I'm not really integrated into the New York City, commercial real estate scene. But then also these are people who are doing business online who you wouldn't maybe necessarily classify as influencers, right? So you don't have to be, I talk to a lot of people, when I'm talking to people about if there's something that, if we can help them in some way, we talk about, it's like people think that they have to, and no digs on the people who, that are classified in this way, but it's like, you don't have to be an influencer to have presence online, right? It's just to your taste. And so I'm looking forward to hearing about how some people who are doing serious transactions in New York City are utilizing this platform, and others, I mean, we're all on platforms, whatever, utilizing the platforms to make that happen. As well as the innovation stage, it's an expo. They got sponsors, they got topics all day. It's going to be a really great day. But the innovation stage is going to have some sessions that are a little bit more like practical, I guess, not just necessarily like a fireside chat, but again, specifically talking about AI, social media, but then also those other things too, like, if you want to know what? I'm going to learn so much, and I'm going to tweet a lot. That's all I got to say. So
are
if
you
are
back on Thursday? Are you going to be back on Thursday?
Yes, on Thursday morning, I will be on the show and we can talk about it.
Okay. So you're like flying in and flying.
We got to figure it out. I'm flying later in the day.
Flying in, flying out. We'll see
flying
what happens.
Flying in, flying out. Just flies flying. Yeah, I am flying a lot. Anyway. Okay.
Cool. All right. So we should be seeing Fly on Thursday. She's going to give us a rundown on the real deal. If you need to, Brandon Weiss says he's buying his ticket now. Brandon, you're buying your ticket for the real deal, the forum?
Oh, it's going to be like a buddy comedy. I have a secret video that I need to share of wait, sorry, that sounded weird. I still have to post all my gala content. I've just been
I have gala content too that has to get posted. And so that's just, we'll get there. It'll be like a month from now and we're like, hey,
you want to know what though? One of my favorite, so one thing before I go is Karina Noor, who was not able to go to the gala this year. One of my favorite content, like kind of series leading up to the gala this year, was her posting her pictures of the people that she met last year. Go back, people. Go back and look at everything that you've done. All the pictures that you've taken, and don't just let them sit there. It is, if I don't post my gala photos, until July, which don't let me do that. And also I've got like 16 people texting me literally every day, like, hey, when are you going to go post that picture? And I was like, I'm going out making money right now. Sorry. Anyway, just don't think that just because something has passed that you can't post it.
And you can't talk about it. 100%. And if you can, try to be in the moment as much as possible, which is where I found myself at the gala, is that I didn't have my phone. Good morning, Russell. I didn't have my phone. I had my phone, but I wasn't actively taking selfies. Sure. I wasn't taking pictures. So there's very, like, I'm trying to look around, like trying to find out like who got me in a photo.
I have more of you. I gotta do it.
All right. You be safe out on the road. I'm looking forward to seeing your content. I will be following.
Your brokers listen up, you're about to feel the heat.
I can't hear your voice anymore. All I hear is the rap. Oh.
Hopefully with Fly's opinions on the real deal. And then next Tuesday, no, on the 19th of this month, we will have the one and only Mr. Bob Knakal will be on the show, and we will be talking about his school group, which is launching today. It is Bob's birthday, so get on social media, wish Bob a happy birthday, and we'll see you back here on Thursday, everyone.
A week will bring the fire to the feed every day of the week. Post so fly, they'll make heads spin. Followers